Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to the Short Vorts. We continue with Parshat Chayei Sara this week. There is a lengthy description of the story in this week's Parsha of Eliezer, Avraham's servant, going to find a wife for Yitzchak. He's given that task. He takes an oath to Avraham that he will indeed find a wife for Yitzchak, someone who is of great status in terms of their midah of chesed, of being a caring and thoughtful person, but also someone who should be connected to Avram's family. And that's why he's going to travel. He travels all the way to Haran. Now, there's a fascinating moment in this story where after Lavan and Betuel, Lavan is Rivka's sister, Betuel is the father, they agree to allow Rivka to go with Eliezer back to marry Yitzchak, that he bows down. Eliezer bows down. That the pasuk says, "Vayhi kasher shama eved Avraham et divrehem, vayishtach u'artza l'Hashem." The pasuk says that when he heard this news that she was going to go, he bowed down to God. And Rashi here comments, "Mikan shemodim al besura tova," that when we hear good news, we must give thanks to God. Now, here's what's odd. And Rav Igdor Nevinsal points out this question. It's not that many verses before that actually Eliezer also bows down to God. When he asks Rivka, "Nu, who's your mishpacha?" and he learns that Rivka is Betuel's daughter, and Betuel is himself a son of Nachor, and this is a connection back to the extended family of Avraham, and he realizes he has fulfilled his mission. The Torah says there, "Ve'ekod ve'eshtachav el Hashem," that he actually bowed down to God. So why does Rashi only get involved in this whole, midah of gratitude the second time that he bows down? Why didn't Rashi mention that the first time Eliezer bows down teaches us that we should give thanks for good news? And Rabbi Victor Nevinsal says the following. He says, the first time when Eliezer bows down, that's because he had just successfully fulfilled his oath. He had gone, he had found the right person in terms of qualities and the familial connection to Avram, and he was so excited that he had fulfilled his oath. And even if Betuel and Lavan would not have let Rivka come back with him, he had done his job. He had fulfilled the oath that he had taken to Avram, and then it wouldn't have been in his hands. It would have been that, look, the family didn't let her go. Eliezer, when he bows down the second time, it's not because he was still on the hook for, I got to fulfill my mission. It was because he was expressing gratitude for what Avram and Yitzchak were able to get in this moment. For him, it wasn't anything. He had done his job. But when Betuel and Lavan allow Rivka to go with Eliezer, he feels the joy for Avram and Yitzchak. And he bows down to Hashem, and that's why on this pasuk Rashi comments, Mikan, from here we learn Shemodim al Besura Tova, on good news that we hear for other people. Just good news. It wasn't good news for him, Eliezer. It was good news for Avram and Yitzchak. And he cares about Avram and Yitzchak. And we need to be grateful when we see the success of others. At this challenging moment in our lives, as individually and as a people, as a Jewish people, we need to make sure that when we are hearing good news that relates to our brothers and sisters in Israel, that relates to our family, that relates to our friends in our community, that relates to our community, our Jewish community at large, that we need to be modim al besura tova. We need to give thanks to Hashem for the good news. There's a lot of unfortunate bad news that has come out over this past month, and so much vitriol and anger that we have experienced over this past month. It's been aimed towards the Jewish community. But when there is good, we must, like Eliezer, be moda al besura tova, to give thanks for that good news that we're hearing. And even if it's not for us, but it's for people we know, or people we don't know, but we care about, who are far away. Having that type of attitude and mentality towards life is really healthy in dealing with a challenging moment like this. As I've spoken about before, it's so important to see the good that's out there in the world and to acknowledge it with words, to thank Hashem, to thank God that we have good news to celebrate. And so when there is that good news, stop and appreciate it. Don't just move on to the bad news that we heard that day, but really revel in the good, give thanks for the good, and be able to have a new kavanah when we say the bracha of modim every day in the Amidah. Have a wonderful Shabbat. Shabbat shalom to everyone.